session today, only for tonight. Tomorrow will be very strict with the cards and movements of people. We don't want friends of conference here, because we're not nominating anybody. We're going to discuss political issues here. But also friends of conference create 1,000 people, you don't know, bring people for supper, lunch, things like that. We end up paying for things we have not budgeted for. So generally, I think we should encourage comrades to tell everybody to give them space for the next 2 days. As comrades who are here from branches, we agreed that in the regions, comrades will then go there, participate. Not everything will have been done, but the open session today is allowed. That's why you must be surprised some comrades don't have text. Everybody will be allowed to listen to the speeches. The program will be distributed, comrades who wanted immediately after this. The program was shared in the regions and with the all invited organizations. Comrade Nandi, I'm not sure whether Comrade Nandi is here. The Interfaith 11 today. The program will be as follows, comrade, for tonight. 11 Interfaith prayer. We'll start with the national anthem, have an interfaith prayer, and then the welcome address by the provincial chair, and then an address by the Secretary General. And then we'll do the housekeeping, and then go for supper. In Canada. When he lands, he comes straight to the meeting. He will arrive here at 9. The treasurer, who the chair was in Cape Town, was only going to arrive here at 7 o'clock in Johannesburg, so she will join us. So when we met, they said, you can't say, because you are secretary, you can't share. But the sessions we're going to have will be chaired by the deputy chair and our treasurer and our chair. Welcome to all the comrades. It has been a long way from the 20th of March meeting on the PEC, which decided on the roadmap towards the National Policy Conference. All the comrades hopefully will have been registered, but we will now ask a comrade, or maybe I should do it, or a comrade will lead us with the national anthem. Maybe I should do it myself, so that we don't have Lilio Maseko is here, because we don't want that incident in France where Ras Dumisan sang the national anthem of France instead of singing the national anthem of South Africa. All the male comrades, just take off your hats, and then we sing the national anthem, and then the interfaith prayer will follow. Pace must be faster.
Nkosi sikeleli Afrika, maluphakanyisa uphondo lwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu, Nkosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo, Morena Bulu sichaba sa Jesu, ufedise dintwali matswenye, sibuluke sichaba sa Jesu, sichaba sa South Africa, South Africa. Die blauw van onze hemel, die diepte van ons Heer. Voor ons eeuwige gebergtes, waar die kransen antwoord geven. Sounds a call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
We'll ask those who have been assigned to do the interfaith.
Thank you, Program Director. Mandla! ANC. I'm going to call upon the following leaders. Goku Penny, come forward. Bishop Adams, Alema Fagute, Kulu Chauke to come and render the prayer services. Viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC Women's League, viva! Viva ANC Youth League, viva! Viva Veterans League, viva! Viva Sanko, viva! Viva Kosato, viva! Mandla!
Usibuluke, oh, sibuluke, usibuluke, sichaba, usibuluke, sichaba, Yesu, sichaba, South Africa. Ngicela sigobe namakhanda sivale amehlo. Baba wethu oyingcwele isenkosi wethu Jesu Kristu. Nini mandla wonke isandla sokuphila. Sikuthembile Jehova, siyakwazi ukuthi unamandla. Senzele umusa, senzele ubungcwalisa baba ngoba usibizele ngaphakathi kwale ndawo. Sesifinyelelile Jehova, sibonga umusa ukusifinyelelisa siphephile ezindleleni. Moya engcwele sesifinyelelile baba, siyakumema intambama yanamhlanje. Sibmema umoya engcwele Jehova ukuze uwehlele komunye nomunye okhona ngaphakathi kwale ndawo. Thinta inhliziyo, thinte ingqondo baba, thinta umphefumulo ukuze baba siyazi esikufinyelelelile noma esikuzele ngaphakathi kwale ndawo. Baba senze ukuthi sigcine baba umyalelo wakho kuko konke ngoba izwi lakho linamandla baba. Uma lisithinta Jehova, lisikhumbuza ukuthi silahle uthando lokuqala lapho silishiya khona Jehova, sithinte ezinhlizweni ukuze siphinde sibuyele emuva siyothinta khona lapho silahle khona uthando lokuqala ngoba ushilo wena ezwini lakho uthe wena uma ukhona asisoze saphelelwa amandla, siyogijima njengezinkozi, sigijime singaphelelwa amandla. Moya engcwele sembathisa amandla, siphokephele baba ekhambeni, sembathisa umoya engcwele, sembathisa umoya wombumbano nokuthandana nokuthobelana sisasephakathi kwale nkomfa. Senzele umusa nobungcwalisa Jehova ukuze konke sizokukhuluma kufinyelelele ekwazini baba nokuphumelelisa lenhlangano baba. Namanje sikuthembile, siyakwazi ukuthi akaze wasifihlela ubuso bakho. Senzele ngomusa nobungcwalisa emagameni amathathu elikayisendodana nomoya engcwele, amen.
we bring this conference before you, the Gauteng Policy Conference. We stand before you with humility. Father, we ask that you may move in a mighty way. Father, touch our tongue and lips, that we may speak the things that will change the lives of our people. We bring before you 55 million people that we represent here today. I ask that your Holy Spirit will bring a cohesion between us, so that when we leave this conference, and Father God, we take the policies and send it, Father God, to the National Policy Conference, that lives will be impeccably changed. We bring the ANC before you. Bless us now and breathe new life into us. In Jesus' name. And everybody say amen.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace be upon you and the mercy and the blessings of the Almighty. May all of us raise our hands in thanksgiving and in the beseechment of the Almighty like this. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I seek protection in God from the devil, the outcast, in the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful. Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam. Hayyana rabbana bis salam wa adkhilna dar salam. Tabarakta ala ya dhal jalali wal ikram. Wal asri inal insana lafi khusri. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. O Lord, Heavenly Father, you are peace, you are justice, you are honorable. You have created man in the best of molds, in your image. Bestow among us peace, so that as your children will look and act like you. Bestow upon us benevolence, compassion as we deal with one another. Teach us to be honorable as you are honorable. Teach us to be good as you are good. Teach us to submit to your divine will, because if we do that, this world will be a paradise that you meant it to be. Let us protect this world as you protect us, and realize that without this South Africa, we do not have a home. Let us treasure it as a home for all of us. Let this policy follow after your tenets. Let us take after you, for if we take after you, there shall be dignity, there shall be justice. Teach us therefore to work for justice in order to attain peace. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise is due to God. Amen.
Thokozani. Before you could start and talk to your ancestors, I would like us to take a little bit of a song. Eziamazumbelo Oziamazu baba wazum Oziamazu melo Oziamazu baba wazu Ayuye oziolayo Ayuye oziolayo baba Ayuye oziphatha kahle Ayuye uziphatha kahle baba uziyamazi umelo uziyamazi ubaba wazo ayiziyamazi umelo baba ayiziyamazi ubaba wazo ayuye oziholayo baba ayuye oziholayo baba Thokozani Kamakweni Makhosi ka setho sa rena ha re rapela re bua le badimo ba rena re otla matsogo sibiza wena amadlozi asemanzini sibizane nabomkhulu nabokhokho sisidibana nahle namhlanje kule konfa lesisayibamba namhlanje ngibiza wonke amadlozi afele empini amadlozi afele entabeni amadlozi afele emanzini ngithi buyani nibiweni khona lana nihlangane nathi kuhambe kahle kusebenzeke kahle kini bomkhulu nabogogo ninamathambo ambu ninamathambo amhlophe ngithi buyani nonke Kamakweni Makhosi ndawoni Thokoza.
Yeah, thank you. The Provincial Conference is now blessed. Thank you.
I always tell comrades that the ANC was launched first with a church service and then followed by a conference. The church was not used as a venue. There was a church service which was followed by the launching conference. So there's a difference using, so the relationship between religious beliefs and the ANC has always been there for years. So Interfaith is part of our way of doing things. The ANC recognizes and accepts that people have a right to believe, and those who do not believe also have a right. That's what our movement is all about. Comrades, I would ask us to stand just for a minute in memory of two heroes of our region. Firstly, we are going to, in honor of Herman Andimba Toivo Ya Toivo, who is being given a hero's funeral tomorrow in Namibia, and Comrade K. Munsami, the former last president of SACTU and the treasurer of the South African Communist Party, and a long-standing Congress activist and leader. We stand in memory of these two giants of our revolution in South Africa and Namibia. Comrade K. Munsami will also, last remains will be, he will also be put to the final rest tomorrow in KZN. And Sir Kitumetse Masire, who assisted our revolution as the president of Botswana, which was seen as part of the front, and our comrades could pass through that country on the way to prosecute the struggle inside the country. These are three giants of our region, Southern Africa. We stand in memory of these heroes of our people, of Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa. Thank you very much, comrades. Comrades, tomorrow we'll sit in, there will be arrangements will be made properly for people to sit according to regions, sectoral formations, and so on. Today, that's why it's a good mix. We are going to now request our provincial chairperson to welcome all of us with an address before we get a keynote address from our Secretary General, Comrade Gwede Mantashe. We also have, just before you start, we're expecting a number of our NEC deployees. I've seen 2 of them. Umam Susan Shawangu, the convener of the NEC deployees in our province. We also have Comrade Max Sisulu, who's also part of the team, the NEC team. We expect other comrades to actually come. When we indicate credentials, we'll acknowledge all the various organizations which are here, which all of them responded positively to the invite. Now, we'll ask our provincial chair to actually open this conference and actually welcome all of us.
Matla. Oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, Bapil Setata, oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa. Setata Ering makwala achech kala acheche le murau Hoyaruna bapil setata Ering baboi bache aboi bacheche le murau Hoyaruna bapil setata Oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, Bapil Setata. Oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, oh ya Runa, na Bapil Setata. Ering makwala ache, makwala ache le murau. Oyaruna bapilu setata kopil. Matla. All power. Viva the African National Congress, viva. Comrade Program Director, Comrade Hope Apo, Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Gwede Mantashe, NEC deployees here present, members of the Provincial Executive Committee, members of the Regional Executive Committees, leadership and representatives of the Alliance, leaders of our leagues, veterans of our movement, comrade delegates, religious leaders, business leaders and professionals, our friends from the media, comrades and compatriots. Let me welcome all delegates to this policy conference. Allow me, Program Director, to also express once again our deepest condolences to the family of Comrade Leader Herman Adimba Toivo Jatoivo, who has departed from the land of the living. Comrade Toivo was one of our own, a revolutionary to the end who led the struggle for freedom of Namibia from the front. He was also an inspiration to the freedom-loving people of not only Southern Africa, but the continent and the world. His contribution to the struggle for freedom in Namibia and South Africa has left a rich legacy of selflessness and service that we should preserve and emulate. As the people of the world mourn this renowned leader, we dip our revolutionary banner in honor of his memory. May his revolutionary soul rest in eternal peace, and may his family and the people of Namibia find solace in the knowledge that they are in our thoughts and will never forget the immense contribution that Comrade Toivo made to our liberation as the people of the region and the continent. Long live the spirit of Comrade Toivo Jatoivo, long live. In the same vein, comrades, we send our condolences to the family of President Masire and the people of Botswana, who for many years assisted in our liberation struggle. Long live the spirit of Tate Masire, long live. Comrade delegates, over the next few days, we will be having a conversation about policy proposals that we as a province believe are appropriate in propelling our movement to a higher revolutionary trajectory. We will be doing so against the backdrop of our organization, the African National Congress, and the broader alliance facing unprecedented challenges as the leader of society. Our discussion will also be taking place inspired by the knowledge that the challenges that our movement are facing are not insurmountable. We are alive to the fact that our organization has faced daunting challenges in the past. One is reminded of the situation that preceded the Lubatsi, Morogoro, and Kabwe conferences. It was tough, and the challenges at the time were so complex that they even threatened to tear the movement apart. However, we were able to surmount those obstacles thanks to the visionary leadership of the caliber of Comrade President Oliver Tambo and other leaders of the time. The ANC survived not only to wage the struggle that culminated into the democratic breakthrough of 1994, but also to develop and implement some of the most progressive policies that have changed and continue to change the lives of our people for the better. We survived because we listened. We survived because we were not in denial. And we survived because men and women of the time put the interests of the organization above their own. We also survived because we adhered to the time-tested values of humility, selflessness, moral uprightness, and service to the people. These are the values that have ensured that we become a parliament of the people and a leader of society. These are the values that Comrade Tambo cherished and lived for. They informed his leadership and ensured that the ANC survived trial and tribulations of repression, banishment, detention, imprisonment, and exile. The ANC today is more than 105 years old because it adhered to these values, with its leadership unshaken in utilizing them as their guide. As we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of President Tambo, it is incumbent upon us that we return to these values as part of paying tribute to the sacrifices he made in pursuance of a vision of a united, democratic, non-racial, and non-sexist society. Our return to these values will be a fitting tribute to him and the thousands of our patriots who sacrificed life and limb during the fight against apartheid for democracy and freedom. Comrade delegates, our movement is in trouble. Things are not well within the ANC. You know that we have recently lost key municipalities in the last local government elections because our people are expressing their unhappiness with the way we do things. We therefore need to determine what needs to be done to save our movement so that it can reclaim its standing as leader of society and indeed a parliament of the people. As we engage in discussion during this policy conference, we need to honestly examine what led us to be where we are today. And how do we emerge from this deep hole more stronger and united? Without unity, the future looks bleak. It is, however, important that the unity we forge is not based on the shifting sense of illusion. We need to confront all the ills that afflict and weaken our movement to be a principled movement. We therefore, Comrade delegates, welcome the announcement by the President to establish a judicial commission of inquiry into state capture. We think this will go a long way to ensure that comrades and all those who are accused or implicated are afforded an opportunity to clear their names so that we can put this ugly saga behind us. In our efforts to rescue our movement, we also need to stop being inward-looking. Our people are crying out, and the ANC need to address their needs and concerns if we are to rescue the ANC from the morass it is trapped in. As we do this, we need to be guided by what President Tambo said when opening our 48th National Conference in 1991, and I quote, "Even as we provided leadership, we were always conscious of the fact that the ANC was a people's parliament. The widespread circulation of constitutional guidelines was a further assertion of the sovereignty of the people. The unity in action of our people has remained the guiding beacon throughout the days of illegality. To reach our goal of a united, democratic, non-racial and non-sexist South Africa, sooner rather than later, then we must not deviate from this course. In this context, we considered it important that decisions of the ANC were to be shaped by popular mass endorsement at all times. Even if such decisions were acceptable within the movement, they would have come to naught unless they enjoyed popular support beyond the bounds of the ANC itself. Whilst our policies were in terms of our beliefs and convictions, they also reflected and served the people's interests. Above all, we sought to make the people part and parcel of our decisions." Close quote. That was Comrade OR in 1991 in Durban. Comrades, society yearns for leadership, and we cannot provide it unless we not only listen to our people, but also respond to their cries. Gone are the days when the ANC would assume that what they agree upon within its structures will resonate with the people. We have to be constantly in touch and in sync with the nation's pulse. It is against this backdrop, therefore, that as we embark on the exercise of reviewing our policies, we have to determine whether the issue is the policies themselves or it is lack of implementation thereof, given the fact that most, if not all, our policies are progressive and forward-looking. My take, comrades, is that the issue is less about policies per se, but more about their implementation. It would therefore be prudent. It would therefore be prudent that we cast our focus more on how best to implement our policies if we are to remain relevant. Hence, we should ask ourselves how best we will be tackling the scourge of crime, especially against women and children. As a societal issue, our strategies should be comprehensive, including attending to both economic and social matters. The point I'm making here, comrades, is that sometimes when we go to policy conferences, we just want to come with new policies for the sake of it, when in fact we already have these policies. So I think it's important that some of the policies we need to look more at implementation rather than trying to come up with new policies all the time. Comrade delegates, we must strengthen our community policing fora, CPFs, street committees, so that they work with law enforcement agencies to fight crime. We also urge our courts to impose harsher sentences on the perpetrators of crime. Our radical economic transformation agenda has to be brought under the spotlight. The ANC has to escalate its efforts to bring our people into the mainstream of the economy, so as they also play an active role to ensure that the economic benefits accrue to all our people. Various plans have to be rigorously implemented, and this includes escalating efforts in building a township economy, as this will address poverty and joblessness. We also need to strengthen efforts to support small businesses to create jobs for millions of the unemployed, especially the youth. Youth unemployment in Gauteng is estimated at more than 2.7 million young people, with some who have already graduated from FET and VET colleges and universities. In this regard, we welcome the intervention of the Gauteng Provincial government through its program of Tshepo 1 million. This program, comrade delegates, is already providing opportunities for young people to do internships, skills and financial supports for them to run their own businesses and so forth. We also commend the private sector for partnering with government on this program. We are confident that by 2019, this program would have benefited more than 1 million young people in Gauteng. Program Director, it is common cause that without the requisite skills, our economy will not be able to compete in a global world. Hence, we need to also strengthen efforts to improve our education system so as our people are skilled appropriately in order that they contribute to growing the economy. The need for skills development can therefore not be overemphasized. Education should therefore remain our apex priority. Government must forge ahead in ensuring that all children have access to education, and that the children of poor families should also have access to higher education. Comrade delegates, although we lost 2 metros and 2 local municipalities in Gauteng, we, however, won the majority of the wards. Let us utilize this strength to intervene out there in our communities. We must not sit back like a traditional opposition party, but should continue to take up issues affecting our communities. The PEC is currently finalizing a document that looks at how we can ensure to be effective in opposition. Not to be an effective opposition party, but to be effective in opposition. So 2 different things. To be effective in opposition. But we are not going to be a traditional opposition party sitting there in those municipalities. Comrades, we believe we have made strides in creating a better life for our people. Unfortunately, things have gone horribly wrong lately, with the ANC being perceived as arrogant, self-serving, and embracing corruption and mediocrity. Our people are even turning against their own movement, as the crisis we are facing seem to be deepening by the day. One of the issues that has come into sharp focus as having contributed or is contributing to the crisis of our movement is its leadership or lack thereof. As we approach the National Policy Conference and the elective conference later this year, it will be important to confront this matter and begin to define our approach to issues of leadership. As an organization, we seem to be approaching this question in a piecemeal manner, and this is not assisting in ensuring that this issue does not become divisive every time there are elections. It is about time that we approach this matter strategically as growth or even survival of our organization depends in no small measure on how leadership is managed. Given that the leadership and succession debate is now officially opened by the NEC, ANC members must seize this opportunity to define leadership and how we manage it within our structures. Rather than we be obsessed with names, we should define the characteristics that a leader of the ANC must possess, the criteria for qualification, and how we manage that succession. This exercise should be informed by Through the Eye of the Needle, a document that contains useful and also guidelines and also bring objectivity to the equation. It is prudent that we adopt a strategic approach to ensure that the best amongst us are elected to lead. It is against this backdrop that we go to conference, that when we go to conference, we must elect a leadership collective that will win the confidence of South Africans. This means beyond just members of the ANC themselves. We must win the confidence of South Africans. We should also elect a leadership collective that is composed of different generations. In other words, generational mix. I can see the Youth League is clapping louder. Comrade Hope was reminding me that the Youth League likes generational takeover. Now we are talking about generational mix. I'm sure the Youth League is listening. So, comrades, this generational mix should include the fearless generation of former exiles, the class of June 16, and the indomitable young lions. You remember them, the young lions. The ones that make South Africa ungovernable. This leadership must be composed of women, men and women, young and old. This leadership must be composed of men and women, young and old, of integrity, who will be able to address the challenges facing our organization. There must be leaders who are selfless and lead with humility, but they must be brave enough to protect the gains of our revolution. In short, we are saying they must lead without fear or favor. The leadership that we must elect must protect the state from various forms of state capture. They must fight corruption and ensure good governance. This also means that the leadership collective that we elect must not be motivated by self-enrichment, but service to the people. For the sake of our movement and our future, we should avoid factions and slates when we choose leadership. We should rather strive for consensus. In the period leading up to September, when nominations will be officially opened, it is important that as Gauteng we engage with comrades from other provinces with a view to influencing them or also be influenced by them. You know, when you go for consensus, it's not one way. You need to convince others why you are correct. We should not strive for winner takes all. A winner takes all approach can lead to the destruction of the ANC, and this also poses a danger of us losing the 2019 general election. It is therefore incumbent upon all ANC members to do everything in our power to emerge from the conference with a leadership that is united behind a common vision and is able to lead our people to the National Democratic Society. The PEC has already started a discussion on this matter of leadership and will soon share its proposals with the branches. I can tell you, comrades, that the PEC is of the view that some of us have been here for too long. You'll get that report, but they are saying some of us must go and help in the NEC. Don't worry. At some point, Comrade Hope will tell you who are those that must leave. I only know that I'm one of them. SG, I'm not campaigning. I'm just telling you what the PC say. By the way, the good thing with that approach is that more young people will come in to be part of the PC, not take over. I nearly say take over the PC. No, not take over, to be part of the PC. So we will send that report so that as you discuss in your branches, you will know what the PC thinks. Comrades, the challenges that we are facing notwithstanding, the ANC needs to adopt a comprehensive policy on leadership with enforcement measures built in it. We will be failing in our duties if the upcoming conferences are not utilized to change the course, especially in regard to the leadership question. Comrade delegates, when we deal with organizational renewal, we should also restructure and strengthen the head office of the ANC so that it becomes a truly strategic center of power. In this regard, there are proposals that are being discussed between ourselves and other provinces to add more full-time people to head office at Luthuli House. Some of the proposals that are emerging that we should share with you are the following: that we should add a position of second deputy president and 2 additional DSGs. These proposals are currently being refined. There's nothing finally about them. It's just ideas that are being discussed. We should also continue to reform our electoral processes within the ANC. The way we elect our members to be public representatives have in the past created animosity within our ranks. Let us there support the proposal to establish a revolutionary electoral college to deal with these issues. Comrade delegates, the current situation also calls for fresh, innovative responses. We should agree that the ANC cannot and should not hope to respond to the challenges that the country is facing on its own, or only working with our traditional allies. That is the SACP, COSATU, and SANCO. Now is the time for a concerted effort to reach out to other progressive forces. We have to lead efforts to build a broad front of progressive forces that we share a common transformation vision with. This front should include religious formations, civil society organizations, and other social formations. Such a broad front should also welcome other political parties and trade unions that share common principles and agenda with us, especially those who subscribe to the vision enshrined in the Freedom Charter. Remember, there are many people out there who are not with us but who believe in the Charter. I think we must bring them to work with us. This noble initiative will go a long way in mobilizing broad sections of our society behind our historic mission of creating a better life for all our people, since these stakeholders have an interest in propelling our country to a higher development trajectory. Comrade delegates, this is a moment of reflection on the political situation obtaining in our country. We should do this with a view not just to lament, but decisively deal with the ills that afflict our movement. After the local government election, we met as a province and assessed the challenges that were confronting the movement and called for a national consultative conference. Even though the NEC did not convene the national consultative conference the way we had proposed, 2 days have been set aside prior to the national policy conference for this purpose. I therefore urge you, comrades, to prepare to make meaningful contributions at that 2-day meeting. We must also reflect on the challenges raised in the January 8th statement of this year. We should also approach the National Policy Conference with a view to continue contributing to saving our movement, as the National Policy Conference provides all our structures with a perfect platform to not only examine the policy propositions as contained in the draft policy documents, but also to chart a concrete way forward. So we are saying engage with those documents, don't just read them. We should ensure that the ANC emerge from this National Policy Conference with clear, concise, and relevant policies that will reimagine the future of the ANC, our country, if we are to remain the leader of society and indeed a parliament of the people. As we engage during this policy conference this weekend, let the interests of our people be our preoccupation. We should be robust, frank, and honest in our conversation so that we emerge out of this conference with clear policy proposal that will contribute to bringing the vision of a better life for all to reality. The time is now. Seize the moment. Finally, comrades, let me on your behalf congratulate Comrade David Makura on his election as the co-president of Metro Police. As the co-president of Metro Police at the Metropolis. Sorry for that. Okay, let me read it properly. Finally, let me on your behalf congratulate Comrade David Makura for his election as co-president of the Metropolis. Metropolis. Okay. Co-president of the Metropolis, which happened at the Metropolis World Congress that concluded its business in Montreal, Canada on Thursday. Comrade Makura joins Comrade Pakstau in assuming leadership of world bodies. Wherever they are, I think they are busy traveling back home. I want to... Oh, Tau is already here. Umusile guy Makura. Comrades, on your behalf, let me say to Comrade Makura and Comrade Tau, we are proud of you, comrades, and we urge you to continue to be the pride of South Africa out there in the world. In conclusion, comrade delegates, I wish you a successful provincial policy conference. Oliver Tambo, ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo, ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo, ba bisandla sam. We Tambo, ba bisandla. Oh, regele ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo ba bisandla sam. We Tambo ba bisandla. Oh sibambunga yegel ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo ba bisandla sam. We Tambo ba bisandla. Oh sibambunga siyegeli ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo ba bisandla sam. We Tambo ba bis. Oh sibambunga siyegeli bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo ba bisandla sam. Oliver Tambo ba Bisandlasa wetamboba Bisando sibambunga siegele Bisandlasa wevatamboba Bisandlasa olevatamboba Bisandlasa wetamboba Bisando sibambung sihegeleba Bisandlasam levatamboba Bisandlasa olevatamboba Bisandlasa wetamboba Bisandla osbambunga siegele Bisandlasa olevatamboba Bisandlasa olevatamboba Mata all power Ayatu mama kosigazi Ayatu mama kosi Ayatu mama kosigazi Ayongene pala Tuma ayatu mama kosi Tuma ayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Yonkene palam Tuma Anginboni makosigazi Anginboni Ya tuma makosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palam Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palam Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palam Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palam Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palam Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palam Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palame Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palam Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosi Tuma hayatu mama kosigazi Ayonkene palam Tuma hayatu mama kosi Hayatu mama kosi uma. Hayatu mama kosi gasi. Ayongene pala duma duma. Ayongene pala.
Allah! Comrades, get settled. I was just saying to comrades in the Johannesburg Regional Policy Conference on Sunday that those of you will remember a bit of dinosaurs from the Young Lions generation. The first anniversary rally of the UDF was held at the Johannesburg City Hall in 1984. And it was not common to have rallies in city halls of apartheid cities. And on that day, Mama Albertina Sisulu, who was the co-president of the United Democratic Front, and it was not announced, came into the city hall with Herman Andimba Toivo Jatoivo in the packed city hall. And those of the comrades who were sitting upstairs in the hall, up there, nearly jumped from the top floor downstairs when they saw that it was Herman Andimba Toivo Jatoivo, who had just been released from Robben Island during that year, 1984. And in that rally, various affiliates of the UDF were there with their colors, Release Mandela campaign, Soweto Youth Congress, COSAS, AZASO, all those affiliates, FETRO, Transvaal Indian Congress, Natal Indian Congress, those UDF affiliates were in that rally. I was just saying, confirming that Comrade Andimba Toivo Jatoivo has been part of us. He actually celebrated the first anniversary of the UDF in 1984 with the rest of us. And some of the comrades who are in this hall when they were still in their, as youth and actually in their early 20s. Those of you will remember. And you will also remember who was the chair of that rally. History is important to mention. The rally was chaired by Terra Lokota, who was the publicity secretary of the UDF. That's history, comrades. We can't change history. He was the publicity secretary of the UDF and chaired that rally. You can't say I didn't chair this meeting because I may have left the ANC. It will be on record that I chaired the opening session of the ANC policy conference. Because if we change history, people will also lie about you. Facts are facts. He was the publicity secretary of the United Democratic Front in 1984. History remains that way. We don't distort, we don't change it. Now, we will call our Secretary General, Comrade Gwede Mantashe, who is weathering all the storms of our organization, remains standing still, strong, taking our movement to the conference to come and address us.
Amandla. Matla. Ubabe sendiyilonjile iGM 17 beningazuyicula lengoma bekuzawuthwa ni-infection yam andikayilonje hayi kawume ndiyanicakisela nje uba when I arrived here benicula loo ngoma kandifika ke mos ndifike ndiskene indlu ndabona abanye bahleli abanye bamile ndiyabona eyi le ngoma lo mfungo because kune-CR 17 uzawuyeka uba yi-deputy president before December otherwise ukuthi uyi-faction. Now, it doesn't work that way, comrades. I-leadership until conference. Yawuhlapha econference-ini kubekho i-leadership enye siyacula ngayo yonke so now i-leadership futhi sizawucula nangozuma nabangamthandiyo because uyi-president. That is how it works, comrade. That's how it works. It's not about liking and loving, it's reality. Thank you very much, comrade. Program Director, Hope Papo, NEC members, Putmax, Susan, members of NEC, Putmax and Mbiza Putin over Umkulwe Wam. Lay pecking order change, it doesn't matter, no one ends Comrade Chair, NPC as a Gauteng, Comrade Paul. I can take Bonba, so we notice. Now, you notice more than 6 months, it's a fair level practice. Ne PC yonke mina ke yonke le PC ndiyayazi hayi ndiyayazi ayiphelelanga bese manje nibuza uphubani ngoba ndiyibona ayiphelelanga Paul mna i-leadership of all the regions particularly i-region yami ekuruleni. You can't help it, Paul. I'm staying in Ward 43, Negurulane. And that reality you can't change. That's the reality. Kodwa ke zonke zi-regions zam ngoba nalapha eJoburg apho ndisebenza khona udada undiphethe kakuhle. Nakandifika eVaal uBrasai undiphatha kakuhle pha. Babe sebendibuza uba uyashusha ndibuza uba uqale nini ukushusha uBrasai kufanele uba kudala eshusha kodwa intsha ngoba kwi-conference so zonke ezi-region comrade nangapha eWestrand yakona uBoyce problem yase-Westrand ke chairperson wakhona nemeya zakhona abayibambi ifowuni xa ubafowunela bayibambi ifowuni iinkokeli zaseWestrand eTshwane ke ndiyabona ndisenetyala ndikabizwa okokwakwa i-local government elections because bathi kabetshisa ndathi iThagara has taken over. Now, so hope that is outstanding. Alliance partners zethu amabomvu andwabonanga kodwa Akona? Akona mabomvu? Okay. Dandigqibele ndiwazi. And wabonanga. I'm confessing ikosatu, isango, i-league zethu. Ndiqala nge-Veterans League mna kanti nge-leagues. Ngoba kulapho wisdom ne-experience yethu ikhoyo. Women's League, Youth League, abantu ababaluleke kakhulu i-delegates to this policy conference. Ngabona abantu ababaluleke kakhulu abo. And invited guests. Because I invited guests, this time ngabe fundisi, sithatha ngabamaphepha, everybody omenywe. Let me start off on behalf of the ANC Comrade Chair. Pass our condolences to the Toivo family, Swapo Party, and the people of Namibia. Let's pass our condolences to the Masire family, the PDP, and the people of Botswana. Let's pass our condolences to the Munsami family, the Communist Party, the Trade Union Movement, and the ANC itself. I must also add, Comrade Hope, a friend of mine is buried in Limbombo tomorrow, Ueti Majad Bodu. Now, Ueti Majad Bodu is not an insignificant player. It's particularly that he's a mine worker, you know. And he played a key role, active in the ANC in Gauteng. So, I think I pass my own condolences to the Majadi Bodu family. We are preparing for the policy conference. And I would imagine that all delegates know by now which area of policy he or she is interested in. They're not going to start thinking about that when there are commissions. If kunjalo, we're going to have a crisis of flooding particular commissions and have a shortage in certain commissions. And I'm sure comrades have prepared accordingly, and they're continuing to prepare. I am concerned about the health of the organization. That is my area of worry and responsibility, and which is a responsibility of all of us. This is the reason that we did accept from the veterans and stalwarts and the MK Council that there will be 2 days added to the policy conference to discuss the health of the organization in the same way as the National Consultative Conference would have done that. Both of them have come back to us and say they don't accept the 2 days. They want a delinked consultative conference in the form and termed they have determined. Now, you see, when you deal with an organization in that way, that it can only happen in your own terms, there's something wrong with that. We accepted that, said, okay, right, we are not coming, but we'll invite many of your members, and there are various responsibilities. Many of them are former NEC members. We'll invite them in that capacity. Others played a role in something else. We'll invite them because we want them to make the contribution, but we'll keep the 2 days and dedicate them on looking into the health of the organization. Another point of disagreement was a demand that a national consultative conference must not involve branches of the ANC. Then we said, if we don't involve the branch of the ANC, how serious would you be about rebuilding the ANC? So I'm just giving you a taste of the things we're dealing with. Sometimes we get projected as being arrogant. Sometimes we're just firm on things that depart from the principles of the movement. Let me start off by emphasizing the importance of unity of our movement at a time when more and more people believe that it can't happen. Unity is a dream that will never happen. It's just a talk. Unity is the foundation of this movement. It is the bedrock on which it was founded. When our movement is united, we talk with one voice, we're very, very strong. When we're divided, enemies begin to write obituaries about us. Nationalist Party, various leaders of the Nationalist Party did write obituaries about the ANC over and over, and many of them died before the ANC died. And I think the new leader of the recycled Nationalist Party, the DA, has also made calls about the ANC that is a kicking of a dying horse. And therefore, come 1919, they will be governing here in coalition. In my own view, comrade, we have a duty to prove him, his predecessors, and his disciples wrong. Now, we have that duty. It is our duty and nobody else who has that duty. You know, he was thrown with a cat. Kendokazel. Amtak. Utungena uphosela ikati. Then ikati yakwamba. Yamtak. So, we have a duty, comrade, to highlight those weaknesses about our opponents. You see, Obramex taught us not to talk about the enemy, to talk about the movement. Maybe it's one of the things we should look at, Paul, whether that still works in parliamentary politics, that you keep quiet about your opponent and you talk about yourself all the time. I think we should begin to talk about them when they have weaknesses. My weaknesses. Then emphasize our strength, because it is our strength that is going to save us. I agree with Paul that our movement is going through the most difficult period, with the alliance partners running in various different directions. The alliance, comrade, I can safely describe it as being in disarray. The ANC is under siege from forces including allies believing that the only solution for the ANC is the removal of Jacob Zuma. That's what has copped everybody. What if Zuma can go, there will be no problems. It will be honky-dory, it will be nice. I want to put this point. I know that it may not be popular in Gauteng, but I must say it. It's a myth, comrades. It's a myth. We must build the movement. The movement, when it is strong, will rebuild itself and self-correct. And we may not even need to demand that Zuma must go. He may see that it is necessary to go himself. Now, because if we are expedient about it, comrade, if we are expedient about it, we may plunge the movement into a crisis. And when we plunge into a crisis, we're going to have a satisfaction in the short term, but it is going to take us longer to pull together the pieces of the movement. I'm one I'm one of the people who believe that our investment now should be on going to the National Conference of the ANC in December, invest all our time and energy in ensuring that we elect a leadership that will first send a signal that, listen, we are serious about no aluta continua. Eh? You know aluta continua is looting continuing. Now, that we are going to stop the aluta continua. That is the looting from continuing. We are going to stop it. Yeah. One of the first exercises that will send that message will be the composition of the leadership of the ANC out of that conference. And society will see that the ANC is serious about correcting itself. Number two, comrade, we must be clear about why do we want to unify this. Let me tell you this, comrade. You know, one of the things that we were victims of bad training by as veterans of Max, anything that is wanted urgently by the enemy should be dangerous. Now, and therefore you should scrutinize it, look at it carefully. Why is the enemy so eager? Because omnifokokele party a blue, agana experience. He is letting it out and say it is not only about Zuma, we must remove the ANC. Then it means we may unwittingly assist our enemy in dislodging the ANC from power. I'm putting this to you, comrade, that if we're serious about the ANC, let's go to that conference very ready. Secondly, we must ask ourselves difficult questions. The first question is that, do we still have common purpose as a movement, as cadres now? Goes to us as cadres. What are what is it that captures common purpose? There is general confusion caused by the departure from the vocabulary of the movement. Vocabulary, how you express things. It sounds very small, monopoly capital, white monopoly capital. Excited about expropriation without compensation and accelerated land redistribution. They look the same. They are not the same. The vocabulary of the movement will reflect if we're still having the common purpose. This appears to be innocent, but the effects of such deviation are far-reaching and distort the political space. The policy conference must reaffirm that the National Democratic Revolution is the primary program of the African National Congress and the minimum program of the alliance. If we can reaffirm that and we all move to that direction, we'll move the first step. Secondly, we must remind and reaffirm our commitment to the content of the NTR. One of these days, I listen to many of us who we must sometimes speak for 2 hours without mentioning the words National Democratic Revolution once. And what should be reaffirmed by the policy conference is that the strategic goal of the NDR is the resolution of the 3 basic interrelated contradictions of colonialism of a special type. That is what we say. When we all followed that, stuck to it, we're moving to the same direction. Two, and these antagonisms found expression in national oppression based on race, class super-exploitation directed against black workers, and triple oppression of mass of women based on their gender. And the main content of the NDR, therefore, remains the liberation of Africans in particular, blacks in general, for political and socio-economic bondage. And it means uplifting the quality of life of all South Africans, especially the poor, who are Africans and female. Now, you see, there's nothing we disagree on this. But once we get into revisionism, want to reformulate the content of the NDR, we get divided. Now, in summarizing the first 2 decades, comrades, you know, the certain tactics document and quantify the progress that we made towards achieving the national aspiration of a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous South Africa. In this regard, it is important to remind ourselves first and society in general that the ANC has never been an anti-white movement. The ANC has always been against white domination. That is what the ANC is all about. You know, comrade, when you express yourself as being angry and hating whites, it catches the fire. It sounds nice, it sounds revolutionary, it sounds left, but it is reactionary. For a cadre of the movement, it is throwing down the drain what we defined in 1962 as colonialism of a special type, where the colonizer and the colonized have a claim on the same piece of land. That makes us different from anybody else, and that's what makes the ANC. All of a sudden, we've departed from that vocabulary, bit by bit, and we go there and display anger and think that we should revenge for the injustices meted against us over many decades, instead of what we have committed ourselves to for many decades of resolving the historic injustices and building democracy. That is what the ANC is all about, is that we'll correct the injustices and build democracy. Now, it has never been about revenge for injustices, but about correcting injustices. If we don't understand that, comrade, I can tell you we're going to go to that policy conference, we're going to sit 2 streams that will be fighting there. One will be one that is pushing the ANC into adventurism and populism. And another stream that will be pushing the ANC to be conservative and say, leave the status quo, let sleeping dogs lie. And therefore we begin to have a movement that fears change. Now, these extreme positions, comrade, it is these extreme positions that are going to actually trample on the ANC, and the ANC is going to be the ash. Now, therefore, I'm going to this issue to indicate that what we need more scientific approach to our problems. Let me give you an example. You know, populism and adventurism will require historians of the movement to draw lessons from few revolutions. Revolutionaries become haphazard and deviate from systematic implementation of their own revolutionary program. And Comrade Paul, your cry about implementation is going to continue to be a cry. Once we move out of being systematic about implementing a revolutionary program, we become haphazard and we become emotional, we become populist and we become adventurous. Now, I'm sure, and the revolutions collapse when you do that. These tendencies, comrade, are used when a revolutionary movement is in decline. When a revolutionary movement is in decline and it seeks to regain popularity and support in a very cheap way, then it becomes adventurous and it becomes very populist. I would imagine that if one of our historians can go and do research for us, we'll see that principles in that situation get replaced by expediency, greed, and corruption. And principles are thrown in the back burner, then expediency, greed, corruption become the principles that drive a movement. And until the revolutionary arrest the trend, the revolution gets destroyed. One of the chapters that the Chinese Communist Party want to forget about is the Cultural Revolution. Cultural Revolution. Cultural Revolution was about nothing else but a movement, a liberation movement that was in trouble, wanting to gain quick popularity and cheap support, get into the Cultural Revolution until soldiers of the Red Army intervened and arrested a few and subjected Mao Zedong's wife into house arrest, because once the revolution collapses, then dynasties emerge. In revolution, kokolozi families, because siya collapse, we're clutching the straws, simkana mans. Now, and I think because ZANU-PF was trained mainly by the Chinese, you see elements of that in the airline program. Revolutionary as it was, very revolutionary, it's a singing movement, it must find something that can make it popular quick, it dishes out land, and it destroys food production. It's nice, it's popular, but Zimbabwe is a net food importer. Now, I'm raising that, comrade, because that is where we're drifting to. Thina apha hlela ndaniva nje imane niculela phezulu niya kule ndlela nonke apha sonke apha sikule ndlela siyaya pha, comrades. And I'm putting this, comrade ukuthi, what is going to save the movement is not quick fixes. It's us applying our mind and thinking deeply of the trouble we're in. Now, and I'm making the point that we should not say we're avoiding adventurism and populism by drifting into conservatism, where we become a movement that fears change. In that case, we protest the status quo and maintain it at a huge cost to the motive forces. Who stands to benefit objectively from the change? Now, we must effect transformation, we must effect change at a pace that will correct injustices. But the ANC must be systematic and be programmatic. That's the first point I'm making. The second point I'm making is how do we deal with the decline of confidence of the people on their movement? On their movement. Abantu hayibo siyanithanda kodwa hayi asizunivotela. There's something I do all the time. It's door to door, Paul. I enjoy it. I enjoy it because there you come face to face with reality. Utungena with a candidate of the ANC. Hey, wena Puma. He's not balasuta an ANC. The candidate that you are going to put up is not wanted. I was in the Northern Cape yesterday. I was reminding my comrade of Comrade Zenzil, per Richmond. Puma. He's a Mantashe, he's a house. What will I say? Because I want them to vote Zenzil. Now I'm full of Zenzil. That is the confidence of the people. That confidence, comrade, we must ask ourselves few questions about it. Is it just the decline of confidence of the people part of the general decline of the legitimacy of the political and business elite? Because there's that general trend, legitimacy of business and political elite is a trend that is emerging. And is this part of that, or is it part of the trend but accelerated by our own actions? Our own research to the local government elections confirmed that less than 50% of the population was positive about the direction it was taking. Topmost issues for the people were not service delivery issues, Comrade Paul. Now, that's figure up and says, hayi, sakizindlu, umanzi, umbane, jonga lonto uyathetha nje, abantu abathethi lonto. People talk about three topmost issues. It's employment, it's corruption, and it's crime. And when they look into that and say corruption and crime, and then we come to the ANC, yourselves, comrade, we fudge the issue about corruption. Said, yeah, if you talk corruption, bring evidence. Which it is an evidence. Abantu bayazi ukuthi beku budget kwafundwa into but there will be a road constructed there. That road is not there and the money is not there. That's all. What evidence do you want? We resolve ukuthi town to town, road must be tarred. We resolve it as the ANC. Kodwa indlela esuke eqala ebhekendwe ayinatha. In the minds of the people, iphi imali yale ndlela? Where is the money for this road? Ayikho. Now, they're not going to give evidence. They don't know if Hope has taken money or Gwede has taken money. They don't know that. But they know that there was a budget for a road X to Y. And that road is not there, and the story is that that money is finished. And then, but you know why, how do they come to conclusion? Zikuba is a lifestyle audit, unscientific. Then there is no road, the money has disappeared, and you have a new car. In society, now, and society loses confidence in us. A crime. If, comrade, if femicide is the worst form of crime, Comrade Susan, femicide, where we kill women every few minutes. When people describe crime, they describe it in minutes. Every 56 minutes, a woman is killed. Every X minutes, a woman is killed. We have lost control of our streets, and we use excuses that do not exist for that. Why? He was wearing a short skirt. So what? So what? You know, I grew up in Kala. I know Mondle. Grew up in Ngobo. And nobody was being raped for that. Yeah. Nobody was raped for that. Nobody was raped for that. Why is it an issue now that I skirt is futan? It can't be an issue. Can't be an issue. And we must not rest, comrade, until we go and reclaim our street. Or good to know, she was drunk, so what? Why am I not raped when I'm drunk? I'm not raped. I run around drunk all the time. I'm not raped. Let's begin. You know, comrade, we've been talking about street committees, village committees, and all the time. If there is one thing that requires to step up that campaign and implement it, is the femicide. Protect our street, protect our women. They must have freedom to wear short skirts. They must have freedom to walk midnight. They must have freedom to walk anything and feel safe, because as communities, we protect them. Now, that's why abantu bakuthi employment, corruption, crime. Then ziqala uvela ezinye issues ze-basic services. Now, then when they go to the detail, they talk to ANC candidate selection. You see, factionalism playing itself out. When we select candidates, we don't select your best candidates, your most popular candidates, we play with it, manipulate it, you see. Now, I'm the Secretary General of the ANC Max. When they have to change and manipulate those lists, they change with SG. SG. I don't know the one who has been changed. I don't know one who has been put in. I've never met them. Who denies Tablanda ABC? SG. I don't know them. Now, it is us in the system. We are manipulating the system. We are corrupt. We want to dispense patronage. We put people we love into being public representative. We don't take capacity. Now, and it is Waketa 1-1, and they are not an institution called the council at that point. They only become something called council when they are together. You only discover at that point that you have no council actually. You have a group of people pulled together here, una council. ANC pays the price. Pays the price. The ANC pays the price. In the run-up to the elections, it was cabinet reshuffle and reaction of the treasurer. That is the Nene reshuffle. If you would do survey today, another vote would be cabinet reshuffle now and reaction of the treasurer. Yaka Pravin Kengukle. It can be community. These are things that are actually hurting the movement. A Concord decision, spite judgment, vuwani protest umcimbi waseTshwane no sputla no vote kodwa iTshwane kangize no sputla eva comrade ndiyarhala ke ndilivakashele pha eTshwane into zakuthi no sputla no vote iTshwane kangize no sputla. There was no sputla in the list from Tshwane, but when there is a protest there, the theme is no sputla no vote, but Tshwane didn't bring sputla. Therefore, the interference, the national, the province, bona ba innocent, but they brought a list without sputla, but they banned things in the name of no sputla, no vote. Western Cape, SABC, SAA. Those are the issues, comrade, that impact negatively on the African National Congress. When we begin to have a communication committee that is beginning to show teeth, ndifuna umamele mondla ngoba into yakwenza ufana ukhawuleza unotice pha eParliament ubuqwime nje some rural town enekuruleni bafika bakubona. Was that communication committee when it started confronting the situation of the SABC, then people begin to see that ANC knows the difference between wrong and right. When we say, hi comrade, minister, recently it is Ubuyisela CEO was ESCOM, people see that the ANC is beginning to see the difference between wrong and right. That is it. And if we don't do it confidently, sawugqiba siwabrush ama-comrade and actually bandage them if they are hurting, but do the right thing for the movement, we are not going to reconnect with the movement, with the people. And then people begin to see that, there you are. Then, comrade, on that matter, the last point I want to make is that the way our posture we take in public, uyifumanisa ukuthi sithatha i-posture that hurts the ANC thina in public. And I always describe it in this following way. There is something negative, we communicate this negative thing, articulate strong, but we stop there. We should move beyond that, own up and say, this is what we are doing about it. That is what is lacking. We end up in the positive posture and then say we're owning up, and we all consistently communicate negative message about the movement. We don't own up. You know, there was one thing, somebody asked me about the emails. But hey, emails zalenzakalisa. It was just enzakalisa. But there's something positive coming out of these emails. And he asked, what is positive about this email? I say, up to now, 4 of our comrades have owned up. 4. Yes, have owned up. Ayanyan bendipa, ayanyan bendilep, ayanyan bendipa, ayanyan bendipa, ayanyan bendipa. It didn't used to happen. It didn't used to happen. We used to just deny blatantly. Uba ayikho loo nto asazi ziveliphi and so forth. That at least our comrades are owning up. Hayi nami bendikhona ayinyani leyo. Nyani le. That is the beginning of wisdom. That is the beginning of wisdom. Then when we say there must be a judicial commission of inquiry on state capture, we say we don't want to hack people. We want to establish truth from facts. That's it. Then we're beginning to take a positive action on the matter and we communicate that consistently. aza kubuza uba izawuestablishwa nini ke ngole commission ubuthe siyavuma ngoku-establish i-commission of inquiry. Tomorrow there must be a commission of inquiry. Asikhathale zanto ngenantsika nge-process asinacala process sifuna ivumo. And then they published articles ukuthi hayi again abahlobo bethu abo ethula zizo nanso abahlobo bethu. We agree, okay, there must be a commission of inquiry. We want to establish truth from facts. Awufika. Mr. Mantashe, le judicial commission izawuestablishwa nini? Hayibo. Kuleni bacakisela uba hayi ayi-establishwa ndim. I-establishwa ngubani? I-president. Ingathi naye nje uyavela phaa. Now you have to explain what you want a judicial commission which will be constitutional and enforceable. Please, man. Then, but okay, what about this one? Now, that is where, but as long as we are all strong, we need this commission of inquiry quick, want to establish truth from facts, we are moving, we're a step ahead. And I must say, comrade, there's nothing that makes me happy when comrades own up. I love that. Because it makes our life as a movement easy. It makes our life easy. Now, I want to talk to only 2 points and sit down. There is a decline, comrade, of ideology in the ANC. Ideology. Yabona kakuhle ideology. Comrades begin to howl and use common sense that is not so common, because they are guided by no ideology. And it decline ikhona. But ideologically siyehla. Now, what I don't accept is the question of blaming the victim for that. That's why we couldn't agree with veterans and stalwarts when they were saying, no, we don't want the branches, their quality is too poor. Now, no, sanobiza umlozi. Nasivusela amakhosi endlini thina abantu bathwasayo. Please, sanobiza umlozi endlini. Now, let me tell you, why is that a flawed argument? It is a flawed argument because when you say that, it means you are blaming the victim, Hope. You recruit a person, he's in the movement, say, for 23 years. Then, remember a BC that has been around for 15 to 20 years, is of poor quality. That member of the branch is a victim of you not doing what you should do. You are not throwing frequent blows to that quantity, you know. Frequent blows and the number of those blows you throw will convert that quantity into quality. You can't say when you throw no blows, what you know, equality weak. If you put milli-meal, galamaz, you don't put yeast. You can't blame milli-meal for not raising. You blame you for not putting yeast, that it doesn't come up. And I said, we must throw those blows, convert those members. But the question of equality is real. Yona equality, irreal matter. Irreal knows a good. I-branch leaders on Kolel. They asked me December, and they delegates. Funango Senikenge, but irreal. Yabona mna I go to regions, ufike pa to run political school for 2 days. Hlala amakhona. Ufumanisa ba leaders of the branches, very energetic, have no clue what the NTR is. If you talk about colonialism of a special type, it's 12 midnight. It's not isolated, it's not rare, you come across it everywhere. Because we spend all our time in the branches discussing the deployment and tenders. Political discussion is a waste of time. Lord against the sitting ethics. Singayazi ba into lento kuthiwa ethics. Kufuneka sikhumbuzane comrade ukuthi when society expects us to behave to the highest of standards, ayiphazami, is correct. It's correct. And I'm a comrade, uthi ka usithi, hey lo mcimbi we-state capture nale family unzima kakhulu. But yeah, uthini nge-white monopoly capital. Let me tell you, comrade, a flaw in that debate. You are selecting the lowest common denominator to measure yourself. Because the white monopoly capital is the essence of the revolution. Ayi bakudala amabhulu imali. Xa sisithi makutshintshwe, sithetha ngeza contradiction, sithi maku-addresswe la issue, awuzuthi ka kukho an immediate problem. Uthi masiyeke because amabhulu under apartheid ayingamasela. It can't be. It can't be. It's a flawed argument. You are using the lowest common denominator to measure yourself. Our people must expect highest of standards from us. They are correct. Now, kastange values of the movement. As a values, we must not read them. We must do them. Waziwe phaya ekuhlaleni ukuthi hayi uFigo inkokheli yenzi. Yabona ke uFigo sikwazi ukudala thina. Usabethe discussion uwedwa. Yebo. Ibethe lando isikhomba ithi yes Figo. Iziphendula. Iphinde isikhomba. Yes mfoka madlala. Iphinde isiphendule ngokwayo. Now Figo, you should be on the highest of standards. And there must be nothing wrong when people expect you to be seen in the highest of standards. If they are not, our people are right when they are not happy. It traditions the movement. I've touched on those. The last point I want to talk about, comrade, is it divisions and factionalism. Rabona, we're going to the national conference in December. We say, please discuss principles. As we discuss any principles, comrade, uzaifumana londo, yabona kafika through the eye of the needle, that the two last items there, before conclusion, they deal with that issue. Selection of a leadership. Paul, Udale Gauteng, angalunga pa NEC. This is what he did as the chairperson of Gauteng. This is what he did as the secretary. This is what he did as this. This is what he did in the UDF, in the youth. Ukwazi umtracer history yakhe ukuthi hayi lo muntu lo can go through the eye of the needle. Xa sitshoyo abanye bethu apha ba-announce i-line-up. Siye ku-NEC sithi take phase 2, discuss names against principles. So this nominatani sethi yithi if you come to me uthi sifuna uGwede iGerman kayilonje abe president funeka ukwazi ukuthi these are the characters of this comrade as men are qualifying yabona sijonge omnye comrade those are names hayi ba lo comrade lo i-weaknesses are more strong than his strength akazukulunga and then nivumelane that's the phase esikuyo ngoku senzela into yoba by the time kuvulwa i-nominations you don't nominate people because they appear in a slate. You nominate a comrade because it has been explained to you as a branch member. Uguti, hayi lo comrade has this strength, has these weaknesses, kodwa if sizanale combination, his weaknesses will be undermined by his strengths. Zalo. Is it clear, comrade? Now, ama comrade, kaya puma, announce the line-up. Idia announce the line-up. I bear $2. That never. That never. Now, I'm going to take offense, and attach the offense at a wrong point. They were not supposed to go with a lineup. Before we were talking about Makama, go with the lineup. So we took, sit too late yesterday. Umbax is brave to say this. Yeah. Now, but a mistake doesn't start with Max. It starts with the team of comrades who go up and announce a lineup when we talk about. So that's why Gauteng, don't jump the gun. Let's carry a lineup. Don't jump the gun. What go clean? For example, up didn't born. Then monetary it's my job. There's other pockets for this, pockets for this, pockets for this. Le face kuyo, kukuba ka believe on something different. You have a right to meet the other comrade about believe on something different. Ni kote ba high comrade le candidate yako will not take us very far. You know, one of the presidential candidates goes public yesterday. When the ANC dies, we must bury it, but I want to be president. Along for, does he want to preside over the funeral of the ANC? They're going by Kunzima. So, we're hoping, comrade, can you talk about policies, the ANC? E-policies are very important, but the vehicle that must execute a program, ANC, is more important because if you don't have the vehicle to execute, your policy is as good as not there. That's why I'm spending a lot of time on the organization, because that is the vehicle to execute. You can take a child to the township or you can take him to town. 73% chances that he will get a university entrance in Gauteng. Now, do you get my point? It appears on TV as an advert. We are repeat, but it communicates about the province and its ability in delivering basic education. And we must pay interest in that. Now, we want to suppose who auspa, sin matters of health. Hey, we are more to go to Fagwe Latini. Now we are born, hey, Gwen, who's born in good, but hey, who Gwen who Fagwe Latini, Yani Power. uthi ka iphuma kwinto yokuvokola amageza apambane apha abhubhile maninzi kuvele enye abantu bathi asiziqaqi izidumbu yeyi beyibona uba mani kunzima kunzima zima ii-funerals ntsi. Now it's not your problem, it's the problem of this province. Yeah, beyibona i-problem yale province, and the people must take an interest in it. Ukuthi kwenzeka ntoni Comrade Gwede, bakho abangamanesi abane-experience bakhawuleze bafake ii-gloves bokuncedisa. Singabona crisis in the province. It's our problem as a province. I wish you a successful policy conference, comrade. Be successful. Sizayithesta with your contributions in the National Policy Conference. Thank you very much.